Look closely at this child. What did you notice? No diaper. And no, the parents didn't forget. In parts of China, babies were raised for thousands of years wearing pants with a hole cut straight through the middle. Western tourists see this and panic. They pull out their phones to film because they think they've witnessed some kind of accident. But here's the crazy part. Many of these children were fully potty trained before American babies even start potty training. So now the question becomes, did China accidentally discover a smarter way to raise babies? Because once I started researching this, I realized this wasn't just some strange cultural habit. It was an entire philosophy about children, the human body, and modern parenting itself. And later in this video, I'm going to show you the strange little sound Chinese grandmothers and caregivers use to train babies to use the toilet, and why some Western parents are now secretly copying the exact same technique. Back then, in the old China, water was precious, soaps were very valuable, and clothes were very precious to get dirty. And because of that, most families simply could not afford to constantly wash dirty fabric diapers every single day. So Chinese families created another solution: split crotch pants. And the design was unbelievably simple. Imagine normal children's pants, except the crotch is completely open from front to back. That's it. When the child squats, nothing blocks them from using the bathroom. No diaper needed. And this is important. This wasn't considered a poor substitute for diapers. This was an intentional parenting method used across one of the oldest civilizations on Earth. And at first, when I heard about this, I assumed it was purely about poverty. But then, I found the science. Over generations, Chinese caregivers became incredibly skilled at reading babies. The facial expressions, the pauses, the tiny body movements. And then came the most fascinating part of all, the whistle. Chinese caregivers would hold babies in a specific squatting position over a pot, a drain, or outside, and make a soft whistling sound. A tiny audio cue, again and again, every single day. Until eventually, the baby associated the sound with using the bathroom, almost like Pavlov's dogs. Usually, the dog only gets excited when it sees food. Then the man rings a bell every time he gives the dog food. After hearing the bell many times with the food, the dog learns that the bell means food is coming, so it starts getting excited and drooling just from hearing the bell, even without seeing food. The same applies with babies trained with split crotch pants. After hearing the same whistle sound again and again, the babies learned what it meant. Soon, just hearing the sound helped the babies know it was time to use the bathroom, even without diapers. And before you think this sounds ridiculous, modern researchers actually studied it, and the results shocked people. Studies found that children raised with elimination communication, the modern term for this method, could become toilet independent dramatically earlier than diaper-raised children, sometimes more than a year earlier. Which creates a very uncomfortable question. Are diapers accidentally delaying potty training? Because think about it. A diaper teaches a baby that they can go anytime, anywhere, without consequence. Everything gets absorbed instantly. But with elimination communication, the child stays aware of their body from the beginning. The sensation never disappears. And suddenly, something that initially looked primitive starts looking strangely sophisticated. But here's where the story completely changes. Because for thousands of years, this system worked. It worked across villages, cities, and then the 1990s arrived. And with them came billion-dollar diaper companies. Companies like Pampers looked at China and saw something unbelievable. Hundreds of millions of babies and almost no diaper market. So they moved fast and began the sale of diapers to Western-educated Chinese parents. And suddenly, something that had existed for thousands of years started being viewed as backwards, primitive, embarrassing, and poor. But sometimes the thing being replaced wasn't broken. It was just old. And old doesn't always mean wrong. Because the strangest part of this entire story isn't the split pants. It's the whistle mothers had made for generations and teaching a child long before language, which trained babies to listen and pay attention. So now I want to ask you, would you prefer split crotch pants and whistling technique? Or do you think diapers are simply the better modern solution? Let me know in the comments. And if you grew up around split crotch pants, or your family used it, I'd love to hear your experience.